Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Wednesday, April 15th, 2020. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Happy Hump Day, and welcome back to another recapless Recap Wednesday. And if you're in the middle of another week that's dragging on because you've got the Corona blues, well, it's your lucky day, because I have some news that's going to cheer you up. This week, the IFBB officials came out and publicly said that the 2020 Olympia will still be held this year. There's been a lot of speculation over the last few weeks about whether or not we'd have bodybuilding's Fall Classic, and at least for the moment, the answer to that question is an emphatic yes. Now, how the delays in the schedule impact qualification and participants is another story, but at least right now the big news is that the 2020 Olympia is still officially a go. Assuming that there aren't any international travel restrictions in place by the time we hit the Olympia season, this will be the second year in a row that we see Hadi Choopan make his way over to American soil. Wherever it is that he's been holed up since the start of the outbreak doesn't seem to be slowing him down much, because on Monday, Hadi released another training clip on his Instagram where he looked absolutely ridiculous. Hadi's been pretty tight-lipped about what the plan is for the rest of the season, but if he shows up in Vegas bigger and better than he was last year, there's no doubt in my mind that he's a contender for a top 3 spot once again. There's no slowing down over here. Stay tuned, people. Those are the words coming directly from Ferguson, who's announced recently that he's still planning to compete in the Boston Pro that's scheduled to take place in June. For someone like Andre, who usually competes a lot during the season, hitting a show like Boston makes perfect sense because it gives him a chance to start working some of the kinks out before he kicks his Olympia prep into overdrive. If he hits Boston with a look that's a little bigger than what he's brought to the Arnold, it would theoretically set him up to come into the Olympia at the biggest that he's ever been. And when you're running up against a monster like Ray Edmonds, having that extra size can be a major factor. Speaking of Olympia prep, this week we also got word that all systems are a go for Oksana Grishina. A few months ago, we reported on a knee injury that looked like it might derail her plans for a comeback to the Olympia, which no longer seems to be the case. Apparently, Oksana really dug deep into her rehab because she's already back in the gym training without any restrictions. I think star power will be really important at this year's Olympia, and Oksana is one of the biggest stars we've ever had in fitness. So if she's putting her A game on display for all those to see, it becomes a rising tide lifting all boats situation because it's drawing way more attention to one of the most entertaining parts of the entire weekend. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.